Good day, everyone. Welcome. We are continuing our series called monotasking instead of multitasking. Because the truth is, research has shown that only a very small percentage, like 2% of people, can effectively multitask. And what it causes is attention residue. It's like having residue on your brain. So let's get into it. Let's start the show. All right. Good day, good day, good day, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Morning Sip with Red Melissa. I am Red Melissa, and this is SIP. SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. Yes, it does. So I hope everyone is doing well. We started our new series yesterday called monotasking. But before we can get to monotasking, we have to address this myth of multitasking because multitasking is not a thing. So, many people believe that they can effectively, and that's the key word, effectively do two things simultaneously well. But the truth is, you really are not. You really are not doing two things simultaneously. And what I'm talking about are complex tasks. So, like I mentioned yesterday, I'm not referring to washing the dishes and talking on the phone, or mopping the floor and watching television. I'm talking about complex tasks, tasks that require our attention, right? Our conscious decision, our conscious decision and our conscious attention. And when we think that we are doing something, at least two things simultaneously, and we believe that we are multitasking, what we are really doing is switching. Task switching. We're switching really, really fast between these two things. And if we continue to do that, you will cause your brain to tire out. You will drain yourself of energy if that becomes your norm. Switching between two things very, very quickly reduces your productivity. Research has shown that task switching reduces productivity by up to 40%. It increases errors and it causes mental fatigue. So I got curious about this because I noticed that I switch. I'll switch from one thing to the next. Now, I don't believe in multitasking, but I switch a lot, is what I have noticed. And I noticed the impact of switching without coming to a completion with, let's say, task A, and then switching to task B, and then switching back to task A is not effective for me. And it reduces my productivity and it tires me out. So, one of the reasons why this happens is because of something called attention residue. Attention residue. So, I mentioned this yesterday and I did a little bit more digging about attention residue, and I want to share just a sip of it with you. So attention residue was first identified by University of Washington business professor Dr. Sophie Leroy in 2009. In Dr. Leroy's paper, she defines attention residue as the persistence of cognitive activity about a task A, even though one stopped working on task A and currently performs a task B. In other words, there is a cognitive switching cost to shifting your attention from one task to another. When your attention is shifted, there is a residue that remains with the prior task and impairs your cognitive performance on the new task. So you may think your attention has fully shifted to the new task, but your brain has a lag. Your brain has a lag. And it goes on to say that lag has become even more prominent in the modern digital world, where you carry and wear multiple devices and tools that constantly pull on your attention with notifications, beeps, and alluring lights. So I think many of us, if not all of us, can relate to this. And I noticed with myself that what works for me is to bring task A to completion. That doesn't mean that I finished it. It just means that after I spent, let's say, 20 minutes to a half an hour on that task, I bring it to completion. I even started saying, I'm done with that for now, just to signal to my brain, let that be. So I'm not dragging that into the next thing. And I notice when I don't do that, because right now I'm practicing, right? Because I was like, maybe I have some kind of attention deficit challenge going on. But I really think it's more about this residue, because I don't say I'm done with that for now. And I'm still thinking about it when I'm on to the next thing. And then because I'm still thinking about it, I'll switch back to it. And then I'll switch back to the next thing. And I'll just keep doing that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Not all the time, but I notice that it usually shows up for me when I have a deadline that's approaching and I feel like I'm behind, but I want to stay current with what I decided to do today. So I'll switch back and forth until I notice that's what I'm doing and it's not effective for me. So one of the things that happens is there's an increase in errors. There's an increase in brain fog because you're not fully present. You're still in, we could say you're still in yesterday, right? But you're still in the other task. So we can gift ourselves by pausing. And you'll know the power of the pause. So when we're working on a task that requires us to use our brains and think, say 20 minutes. Everything that I'm reading is saying, like, give yourself 20 minutes to a half an hour, right? And then take a breather, just a minute or so. Even like get up. If you've been sitting the whole time, get up, walk around the room, go and look out the window, get some light, and then come back and start the next thing. And just see what difference it makes for you. Maybe this is not an issue for you. God bless you. But I know for many people, it is. Feeling like, why can't I get ahead of this? Right? Or you finish something and you go back and check it and it's just full of errors that you don't even see because there is so much drain on our brain by multitasking, which we do not do. We task switch. We task switch. So I think that's what I wanted to share today. Let me just check one other thing. Okay, let me share this. How to stop task switching. Practice monotasking. And that's what we're talking about in the context of this belief that there is a such thing as multitasking. So practice monotasking. Focus on one and only one task at a time. And remember, we're talking about complex tasks, tasks that require our full attention. Time blocking, what I just mentioned. Dedicate specific uninterrupted blocks of time to deep work. For example, 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Reduce interruptions. Close unnecessary tabs, silence your phone, and create a distraction-free zone to allow for deep work. So I mentioned deep work twice there in time blocking and in reducing interruptions. So tomorrow, I'm going to give you a little more information about what's considered deep work. Yeah. And how that is most impactful when we practice monotasking. So tomorrow we're going to explore some deep work. So we have multitasking, which is really task switching, which causes attention residue and makes it more challenging to effectively do deep work without errors, without reducing productivity, without cognitive drain. So we're going to get into deep work tomorrow. All right, so let me check in with y'all, see how y'all doing. Good day, Pamela. Hey, Margaretta, it's good to see you. Hey, Shay. Oh, I'm glad you love the message, Margaretta. Yes, mindfulness, mindfulness, mindfulness. Absolutely. And it's very difficult to be mindful when you're task switching. Those two things don't go together. All right. So let's get into some joy news. So tonight we have our visioning, the first Wednesday of the month. We do visioning. It is our offering to the community. I hope that you can join us. It is tonight, the first Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I guide you through the whole process, and it is an opportunity for you to get in touch with the answers that are within you that are in alignment with the universe. It's love consciousness that we are tapping into, and we are listening for the answer. So join me tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can go to rocklandcsl.org for the Zoom link. Just click under events and you will see visioning. I just wanted to put up our website. More info at rocklandcsl.org. What else is happening? May is a very exciting month because we have a lot of offerings in May. So May 12th, we are offering a virtual masterclass called You Are the Power, Activating Universal Intelligence in Your Life. It's from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. And it's about bringing more ease and flow and purpose into your life. It's about activating your inner authority with clarity and intention. So you can take a screenshot of the flyer here and scan the QR code. You can also go to bit.ly/masterclass-power, bit.ly/masterclass-power to register. The cost is $25. So it's a wonderful class that's being taught by Reverend Joan Faison. And then the following day, we start our new spiritual living book study, May 13th, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The book is Manifesting the Practical Simple Guide to Creating the Life You Want by Chris Ferraro. And I'm excited that Chris will be with us. She will be guiding us through her book. And it's nothing like having the author at your book study. Yes? Yes. So join us starting next Wednesday, the 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, you could go to rocklandcsl.org for more information. All right. So I'll stop there. Those are three things. One is tonight, our visioning, 7 p.m. The next is next week, our masterclass, You Are the Power, May 12th. And then our spiritual living book study starting May 13th at 7 p.m. Again, all the information is at csl.org, where I am the spiritual leader at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. All right, everybody, have a wonderful today. I will see you tomorrow. We're going to get into some deep work tomorrow. Deep work tomorrow. I hope that you're practicing monotasking. So set an alarm. I have my little alarm thing right here. Set your alarm. I usually set mine for 30 minutes. Set your alarm for like 30 minutes and focus on that one task. When the alarm goes off, take a breath, get up, maybe stretch, walk around the room, look out the window, but do something just to give your brain some space to transition to the next thing. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful today. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.